Welcome to Building Connections, Doral Talks. I'm your host, Betty Gonzalez. And in today's episode, I want to bring you the latest news in real estate from the real deal right here in South Florida. I want to also talk to you about the days on market in Florida state as a whole. And is Miami real estate in a buyer's market or in a seller's market? That's what we're going to cover in today's episode. So stay tuned and thank you for tuning in. Again, I'm your host, Betty Gonzalez. And let's get right into it. I'm going to show you and I'm going to share with you some of the data that came out this week. But before I get there, I want to talk to you about some of the things that I'm finding out when I'm coming to my sellers, like when I go to a seller house, when I'm going to talk to them and what the sellers are seeing themselves and some of the things that just doesn't make sense to me. You know what? I'm going to leave that towards the end because I want to first tell you what the data says, and then I can give you my advice on maybe an opinion based on the information that I gather for just being in real estate every day. Because remember, guys, real estate is fluid. It's constant changing. Right now, just so that you know, if you decide to put your house on the market, for example, and there's 3 houses on the market right now in your same neighborhood, or maybe not directly in your same neighborhood, but in the same price point in the same city. For example, let's say that you want to move to Doral. You might be wanting to move to downtown Doral, but there's also other neighborhoods in the same city that has the same price point, right? So let's say that you're looking for a townhouse, one of those high rises, 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and they're at about 9.8, $900,000, $1 million, right? But then you can also find the same kind of things right there in the Landmark. They also have high rises with elevators that cost around the same price. So not just looking whatever it is in your neighborhood, but the price points in the same city, because those are going to be your competition. Now, not only what's outside right now, like I said, real estate market is fluid. So even the competitors, when you're going to come out on the market, you want to come out knowing what your competitors are offering. So what does that mean, Betty? Well, I'm glad that you asked. That means do they have the same bedrooms and bathrooms that I have? What's the condition of the property? Do they keep it up? Do they have like crazy colors? Do they have neutral colors? Does it attract more buyers? I mean, you could have a green color like I have in the back of my office right here, but this is very unique to myself and it's going to attract only so many buyers. But if it's a neutral color, then you're going to attract more buyers because it has a bigger pool of people that then they can put their own touches, right? So that's what I mean. Like, what is it that you are offering? Are you close to a park? Do you have water views? Are you close to the freeways? Was your house renovated? Did you renovate the kitchen? Those are the things those are your competitors, right? Those are the main things. And then the price. So let's say that you price your property very highly competitive in comparison to your competition, people that are on the market right now. Well, that's today. But my friend, if tomorrow somebody needs to sell the house in a hurry, then they can come out on the market at an even better price than you. And that's what I mean by the market is fluid. So you have to be looking at what's happening right now when you come out on the market. What's your competition? And then you have to continue to have an agent to follow up with you every week to tell you what else came out on the market and what people are doing and what closed, right? So I say that to show you this data and then going to tell you some of my observations. So let me share the screen. Like I said, I think I'm getting much better on learning which screen is that I am sharing. So this past week, they had Fly to Florida. They had the Real Deal, had the real estate news conference right here where more than 6,000 people attended. And this is what came out of this forum, right? That this Fly to Florida will continue, experts said, at the Real Deal South Florida real estate forums, despite the overall slowdown and cost and inventory challenges. Miami, they say, is still an outlier compared to other major U.S. metros. Got it. I understand that. I get it. But besides the point, let me see if I'm still sharing. I want to make sure. I don't know. It's not showing it to me. Okay. So besides they saying that Miami is an outlier, I want you to hear this. Really, still an outlier compared to other metro areas. But it says before they said that despite the overall slowdown and cost and inventory challenges. Okay. Now let's go to housing inventory median. And this is the Federal Reserve Bank. Okay. So the housing inventory and the median days on market for Florida. Now I'm not talking, this is not just South Florida. This is the whole state of Florida, is 76 days on market. Right? So let me see. What does this mean to you? 76 days on market. 76 days, that's a lot of days. We only reached 88, and that was in July 2020 because of the pandemic, guys. So any other time that is a little higher than this was January 2023 and January 2024. Now, we're not in January. We are in October. So October 2024, we had 76 days on market before you receive an offer. That's what that means, days on market. So what does that say? Well, because you have more days on market, let me start sharing. Once you start having more days on market, what happens is if houses are taking longer to sell, and then there's more people coming on the market each day, that means that is a rise on inventory. So your competition gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every day. And that's what I mean that the market is fluid. Even if you come in the market today, right? Even if you come in the market today, price well in comparison to your competitors, but then tomorrow and then the next day and the next day and the day after that, and for 7 days, more people are coming on the market, then you need to be aware. If now you're still competitive or if you're priced higher than the people coming on the market. Because the longer the house has stayed on the market, not only who came on the market, but how many price reductions have we received? Now, have they reduced it to the point to where now you're the most expensive house in your community or in your market or in your city? I'm talking about that. I'm going to show you directly from the MLS how many price reduction we had, not South Florida, just right here in Doral. How many price reduction we had in only 7 days, not a week, not a month, but just a week worth of data. How many people lower their prices? So who's your competitor? How are they priced when you come out? Who else is going to come on the market for the next 7 days? And who has lowered their prices in the last 7 days, right? So this is what you need to have. And then you have to have a cadence. What I have with my clients, I talk to them at least once or twice a week to tell them exactly how the market is doing so that we can adjust based on the data. Okay, so now let me show you again the next piece of data that I want to share with you, because I believe this is important for me to show you so that you know exactly where I'm getting this from. And I'm getting this straight from the data that's coming out of the housing market. So now Rocket Mortgage is a lender, right? So they lend a lot. So based on their data, Miami, specifically Miami, right here in South Florida, is it a buyer's or a seller's market? Where based on what's going on right now, they're saying that we are in a buyer's market. Not even at the beginning, but according to them, we're in a buyer's market. And this is saying Miami is in a buyer's housing market, which means prices tend to be lower and homes stayed on the market longer. And they're saying that at the same time, last year, Miami was in a seller's market. Why do I say this? Now, remember, guys, I'm not talking about Doral. I'm talking about Miami, right? Which is our neighbor. So they take everything into account. Why does this matter? It matters because people tend to remember what is convenient to them, what sounds better to them. So if I'm telling you that we are in a buyer's market, but at the same time last year we were in a seller's market, then a seller, when they put their house on the market, they remember their friends or their neighbor that sold the house not too long ago, even though it was a year ago. It feels like it's not too long ago. They believe that their houses are going to sell the same, or that they're going to have a bidding war that like their neighbors did. Well, the only way you can attract a bidding war is if there's not enough inventory. And like I just told you, we have way too many houses on the market in comparison to before. And I'm going to pull up the MLS because I really want to show you this right now, okay? I want to show you that. So right here, I'm in my MLS. So let's look at houses that have come on the market just in Doral. Now, guys, I only like to track Doral because this is where I live and this is who I serve, right? So listen to this. Just in the past 7 days, right here, 7 days. This is the most I track here on this chart because this is the market watch. 60 new properties have come on the market, right? Now, 6 new property came back on the market, meaning that they were for sale. For some reason, it didn't sell, or went under contract and it didn't sell. Something happened, it just didn't sell. 6 of them came back on the market. Then we have 16 price reductions. Listen, in the past 7 days, 16 price reduction. I don't know who increased their price, but 16 reductions. But we only have 4 active under contract and only 7 pending. And 6 closed, right? And then 6 cancel. So what does this mean? That if you were to come on the market today, you are competing. So let's see how many the price increase we had. We had the biggest jump that come out right now. It's a 6.85% decrease and a I have a 10.55 decrease right here. So this property went from 1,160,000 to 1,100,000 to now 995,000. Okay, so you don't want to be this person. You don't want to be the person that's chasing the market down, because this is what's happening. This is chasing the market down. Now, this person right here, right? Let's look at this one. This was a person that lowered their property. They went from 7,999 to 780, and finally, he went to 780 and it was canceled. So you don't want to be on the market for so many days that you don't know. Okay, let's see how many days these properties have been on the market. Okay, I could check the actual days. So let's do this. Let's add days on market. Days on market, okay? Look how many days have this property been on market. 52, 81, 142, 125, 147, 122. Even after multiple attempts to lower the prices, guys. So what is my message to you? My message to you is look at the data. Okay. I'm going to tell you, I know there's a lot of people attempting to sell their houses by themselves right now. And there's many downsides to doing that. But the main reason is because when you're selling your own property, it's really hard to be objective. You're always looking at your property as the owner of the property. And many times, okay, let me explain. I go to a property owner and I'm trying to talk to them about the value of the property based on the data that I am pulling out in their immediate market area, right? And then in turn, they tell me why their house is worth more. Well, you don't need to convince me because I'm not buying your house. You cannot convince a person of your own experiences and memories in your property, because those are your experiences. And we understand that it is very personal to us. So when you do come on the market and you're trying to put the house on the market and you're trying to be objective, it's harder for you when you're selling your own property. It's best to have someone detached from the memories and detached from the sale as an owner, because we can come in and help guide you make the best choices to get you to your next stage in life, which is from homeowner to maybe a home seller, right? To potentially be a home buyer somewhere else, because your life has changed and now you're next to your next stage in life. So this is my advice to you. Look at the data. Know that the market is fluid, is constant, is not steady, and that even though Miami, South Florida is in a buyer's market, that does not mean that your specific neighborhood is the buyer's market. It might be a neutral market, or it might be even a seller's market, because real estate is, and it always will be, very local. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, you need to take out your emotions when you're selling your property and just look at the data and come out at the price that will cause your property to be the obvious choice on the consumer, so that they just immediately, as they look at your property, they know that that's a property that makes sense to put an offer in. And if you create a lot of interest in your property on the first week or two, then you have a better chance to get the price that you need, or potentially even more, because that's the only chance that you have to create interest to where people want to pay more than what you're asking on your property. I'm going to leave you with this. And then you tell me if this makes sense to you. I'm going to ask you a question first, and I'm going to help answer it, obviously, because this is a one-sided conversation, unless you just leave me comments below. So if you have, let's say that you are a buyer. Okay, let's say that you're a buyer. You want to be a seller, but you're going to have to put in the buyer's glasses. So these are your buyer's glasses. I'm putting it on for you. And you are on the market to go and buy a house. Hypothetically speaking, let's go to this neighborhood that I'm in right now. You love this house. There's 2 houses on the market right now. There's 2 houses and they look very similar. 5 fingers, 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, right? But one of the properties that is on the market, you like more than the other, right? But this property is priced higher. You'd be like, okay, they're kind of similar. This one has more benefits, but it's a little bit higher than this one. Pay a little bit more, maybe. But now let's say that the same property is much better than this one, because it has a little bit more features and benefits in the same neighborhood, but it's priced the same as this one. You probably is like, oh my God, this is a deal. It's an obvious choice. You will now for sure place an offer on this one and this one. But now let's say that this house that you like more because it has more features and benefits, maybe it has the same bathrooms, but it backs to a lake. It's not something that you need, but it's a nice benefit. Or it has the same bedrooms and bathrooms and everything that you need, but it's in front of a park. And it's like walking distance right to the park. And you can just go ride the bike, jog. That is an extra benefit. But now let's say that the same house, this one that you like more, and you can just see in my hands, I do have a ring. So that makes a little bit more than this one. And I even have this. So now this property is priced a little bit lower than this one. Oh my God. If you are a buyer looking in this neighborhood and you have these 2 properties, and this one has more features and benefits than this one, and this one is a little lower than this one, anybody that's on the market looking in this neighborhood and this house is priced right based on the market, I'm telling you, if there's 10 buyers, all 10 buyers will flock to this property, which eventually, because they will bid against each other, will drive this price higher even more than this one. And that's what I want you to understand. Because if you are a buyer and you are walking with me and this house came on the market and it is the best house in the neighborhood, and you see there's a lot of interested buyers to buy this house today, and you're like, oh my God, Betty, I have to have this house. We need to put in an offer right now. As soon as we walk out of this open house, we need to put in an offer. What kind of offer do you believe I will tell you to put? Let me guess. You're going to put in offer price, or I'm going to tell you, you saw all of these other people. They're also interested and they're telling the same thing to the agent. If you want to buy this house and win this house, you might potentially have to put in a little bit more. Not a lot more, but maybe a little bit more. Or you just have to put in your best offer on day one. Now, let's say that this same house has been on the market for now 76 days, which is the average days on the market right here, right now in South Florida. Or no, let's say 90 days or even 120 days, like some of the ones that I showed you earlier. And now you telling me again, hey, Betty, I just saw this house. Can we just go look at it next week? We go look at it next week because it's been on the market for a long time. It's chances that it's going to continue to sit there. And then you tell me, I really like the house, but I'm thinking of putting an offer. What offer do you believe I should put? Do you think I'm going to tell you to put the asking price, or I'm going to advise you to offer more? This house has been sitting on the market. You're kidding me? Now that buyer has leverage because you decided, my friend, to sit on the market for a long time and chase the market down. And by the way, the longer your house stays on the market, the least amount of money you will receive on the offer, even if it is overpriced. Because if it is overpriced, some buyers will think you insulting us. Okay, you wanted 100,000 more. I'm gonna offer you 150,000 lower. So you want to be priced correctly. My point is, take the emotions out. Get an agent, a third party, not just any agent, but an agent that knows the market and understand dynamics. Because yes, you want to see what's sold in the few weeks or the past few months. That's awesome because that's what the appraiser will use. That is only one part. The next part is, what is the market doing? Is the market going up or is the market going down? I'm going to get blood on the face telling you this because it doesn't seem to research in people's memories or minds. So I'm going to remind you every week that I come on here because this is what I see every day. Anyway, guys, I think I said enough. Leave me comments on the bottom and the comments below and let me know, am I right? If you come onto the market on the first day and you love this house more than this one, and you see that other buyers interested, are you going to make your best offer or are you going to lowball it? Because if you do, a seller will say, wait, I have time. I just came on the market. But on the other hand, if you are a buyer and you're looking at a property and it's been on the market for 120 days, you're like, the lottery, I'm going to lowball this one, whether the seller accepts it or not. The seller at this point have two choices, actually three choices. Either put a rebuttal to return it and say, no, I want to ask for more money, or they just don't accept your offer, or they just come out of the market without selling, because that's what happens. It happens. A lot of property come out of the market and they just don't sell. If this is you and you can afford to not sell it and put your life on hold or put your next chapters on hold, then more power to you. But don't tell me I didn't warn you. Anyway, guys, thank you for connecting to Building Connections Doral Talks. Again, I am your host, Betty Gonzalez, and I will see you next week. Have a great day, but have a better weekend. Bye, guys. Take care and see you next week. Real quick, calling all Doral professionals, entrepreneurs, and community influencers. Are you ready to showcase your business, share your knowledge and experience with our engaged audience? Building Connections Doral Talks invites you to become a guest speaker on our podcast. Share your unique perspectives and inspiring stories with our listeners. We believe in the power of your voice in shaping that conversations right here in Doral. Click the link below to submit your information and be part of our next episode. Join us in building connections, sharing knowledge, and growing together. Don't miss this opportunity to be a featured guest on Building Connections Doral Talks. Tune in, connect, share, and grow together with Building Connections Doral Talks, reshaping the way we engage with the diverse voices of Doral, one guest at a time. Doral Talks, your voice, our community. Click the link now on the show notes, the screen, or in the comments below, or just scan the QR code to submit your information as a guest. I hope to see you soon. See you in the next podcast. Bye.